Let's roll. I ain't the driver, the one in the back. Feeling like Crosby on turn to the max. You with, he ain't talking about nothing. Ain't ballin', babe, he can't afford a bag. Leave his little broke ass right in the past. I come with more than half. I need my sack, rush it. You want me racks, rush it. Dress all black, rush it. So many hits, thought I had concussion. I need my sack, rush it. You want me racks, rush it. Dress all black, rush it. So many hits, thought I had concussion. Buckets. Let's roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Rush. It is your boy, Maxx Crosby, in the building. Darian, you good over there? Just want to make sure.
Great. I'm great.
We are
ready.
back in the building. It's your boy, Maxx Crosby, my brothers, Brogan Roback, Darian Terrell. We are back at it. Unfortunately, it feels like we're in, Groundhog's Day. Same story, but unfortunately, we're not going to keep beating a dead horse. We talk about it all the time, but my main focus is improving every single day and being the best player and leader I can possibly be. And I'm going to continue doing that. Got 3 opportunities left, and that is all I have to say on that. We just got to keep improving. At this point, you're playing for pride and you're playing for the name, not just on the front, but in the back of your jersey. And for the ones that are watching you at home, and you're doing it because you love the game, and that's why I play football. I love going out there regardless of the outcome, regardless of the score. I'm going to put everything on the line, and I expect everyone else to do the same thing. And, just not going our way right now. But vibes are high. Energy is always going to stay high and consistent, and we keep getting better and keep improving, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. We got 3 opportunities left, like I said, and fully maximize and take full advantage of that. So excited.
Well said, bro. Well said. Obviously, we'll talk off air probably about the game. So, but the only question I got for you is, it was easy to track you Sunday, especially at the very beginning of the game. You had the pink Ella Rose custom Jumpman cleats on, hard to miss. So funny story, you had them on, you get the sack, and then I'm like looking around and I don't see the pink cleats, and I'm like, why is Max not in? And in my head, and all of a sudden I look closely and I'm like, oh, he changed his fucking cleats. So I did a little confusion number on myself, but I got to ask, what was up with the change? What was up with the cleats? Talk to the people.
Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm making a stand. I'm wearing the pink Richard, the pink fit, pink everything, because NFL was crying and forced me to take my shoes off, even though they're Jordan 11 custom Ella Roses, 1 of 1s. Can't find them anywhere. There's something that I wanted to get done. There's a few, specific things that, we plotted and worked together on, getting ready for the season. You guys have been able to see my different Jordan cleats every week, and they've been super fire. But I definitely wanted one of my daughter and represent my daughter out there, and it says Ella on the front of them. They're freaking cold. So I was like, I'm wearing them. You know what I mean? Regardless of what they say, I'll take the fine. I don't care. And I really didn't know. Like, they didn't say anything in warm-up. And then I go out there, I play the first couple series, and they didn't say nothing. I go out for the next series. It was maybe the 3rd or 4th of the game, and I noticed my guy Nico, one of our equipment guys, is on the sideline, and he's literally holding the white cleats under his arm. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, I know they fucking called about my cleats. So I was like, I went up to Nico. I'm like, what? They're bitching about it? And he was like, well, they're going to take you out the game if you don't change your cleats. I said, I'm finishing this drive.
What?
I swear to God, I said, I'm finishing this drive. So I went out there, and my last play in those cleats, I got a sack, and I ran straight to the sideline and took them off. And I put them right next to me, sitting next to me, my Ella Rose 11s. And those are going to be put up and signed and put in my room or put in her room. Because I got her an extra pair as well. Like, I got her, I brought her and told her which ones I was going to wear. So she has her own pair. She's been, walking around with them and looking at them, and she loves them. So had to represent. But yeah, the NFL. I'm going to talk to my guy Roger after the season once I see him. But definitely
right
have to sit down.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, no, when I see him at Walter Payton or Super Bowl or what, Pro Bowl and all that, like, I'm going to make sure it's known, because I just feel like as a football player, like, people always talk about the one thing that the NBA has over the NFL is like the individual part where, you know, the NBA players, you get to see their face, they don't have a helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they express themselves in a different way is like their signature shoes and the way what they're rocking on their feet. Because the jerseys are one thing, but the colors on the shoes can be anything. And that's something that everyone in all of us, we know, like, you want to see who's rocking the dopest shoes and who's got the brightest, craziest, dopest shoes. And like, I just feel like that's something in football that they're missing, and they're way behind. Like, they're way too old school with that approach. You should be able to rock whatever cleats you want. And
it's not like you're wearing neon green, you're wearing pink, which resembles a whole lot of bunch of shit.
It
means a lot to you personally, and it also resembles breast cancer awareness and all these things that 100%. Matter. You'd think they'd be like,
yes,
good for you.
The only time we could wear them is the my cause, my cleat stuff. And I'm like, I think it's great, but also, like, I want to wear what I wear. Like, it is what it is. So I kind of knew going into it what was going to happen, but I was like, I don't give a damn. I'm taking the fine. These are for Ella. Like, I got to get a sack. And then I got a sack on my last play in those cleats. So it was fire. It worked out how it was supposed to. And, I'll talk to Raj after the season for sure. I'm going to sit down to him and be like, listen, let me lay this out for
First,
you.
it was the face mask.
Yeah, it was a face mask. And look, now it's an official NFL face mask, 1 of 1. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna talk to our guy Roger.
It's baby steps, bro. And 100%. Then the last thing on the game leading into that play that you're talking about, did we see a condor celly or was that an eagle celly? We got to know. We got to clarify. Were you trolling the fans in Philly since they love to troll and throwing an eagle, or was it the condor swooping in?
For sure. No, I was definitely trolling. I knew in my head, all week. I didn't tell anybody, but I was just like, when I get a sack, I'm taking off because that's my thing. Like, I'm usually just flying, but I wanted to mix, the little eagles in there. I definitely had that planned, and we got it done. So yeah, it was a little troll, but I honestly, I will say this. I think, and I've talked about this with a lot of guys and stuff like this, but one thing that I'm like, even when I was in elementary school, like, I always was, the one class that, like, I was super interested in was, like, history. Like, the history, like, cities that really have, like, substance to them and, like, true fan bases and love for their city and the game. And, like, going to Philly, like, you could feel that energy when you go there. Like, there was people everywhere downtown. We stayed right downtown in the thick of it. You know how Philly is. They're rowdy. They're crazy. They're flipping off the buses.
Just giving you the bird.
Yeah, they didn't give a damn about anything. And then we pull up. We're driving up to the stadium. And I low-key, like, I never do this, but, like, I was driving into Philly. And this is the first time I've ever played in Philly, so that's why I took some pictures. But I was driving into the stadium and just looking at it, bro, and it was just, there's trees and just all white and just fans everywhere in the tailgate. And you could just see the stadium behind. And I took a couple dope-ass pictures because it's like, this is my first time ever playing there. And it just, like, if you're true, like, if you love football, like, that's what you dream of as a kid, like, playing in Philadelphia in December in a grimy-ass environment. Like, that's exactly what you dream for. So I loved it. Honestly, like, those type of cities, New England, like, with Boston, how the Boston fans are, New York, like, I love Chicago's another one, Detroit. Like, that Midwest feel, I grew up in the Midwest. In that cold environment, like, it's a different, like, it's just football weather to me. So I was
going to say, you haven't
excited.
played in the cold yet this year, right?
Yeah,
like,
I haven't played in any cold.
Good.
I haven't played in any cold at all. So it was dope. It was definitely a different change of pace. And regardless of the outcome and everything, like, I was having fun and I was in my bag and doing what I do. So it was a dope experience for sure.
Amen. All right, Condor Cartel, if you're looking to take your game to the next level, we're happy to announce our partnership with Skull Smash Aromatic Sports Scents. We all know the feeling. You're gearing up for that big play or the max effort at the gym. You need that edge, the extra level of intensity. Well, that's exactly what Skull Smash brings to the table. These aren't your typical products. They've got over 40 different scents in a variety of strengths and sizes, so no matter your vibe, there's something for you. And get this, guys, every bottle of Skull Smash is made to order right here in the USA. So you know you're getting the freshest, most powerful experience possible. No prepackaged stuff just sitting around on the shelves. It's all about quality. And guys, we have athletes on the show all the time, and they swear across the board by it. No matter the sport, football, swimming, wrestling, croquet, you name it, Skull Smash is for any athlete who wants to help focus better, push harder, and even hit peak strength when it matters most. Plus, Skull Smash has a special deal for all you listeners. Use code RUSH15 at checkout and get 15% off your order. So head on over to skullsmash.com and check out their full lineup of scents and products. Trust me, guys, I wouldn't steer you wrong. If you're serious about bringing your A game, this is something you do not want to miss. And get back to the show. We all heard that you watched Invincible the night before in the hotel. So
yeah,
that could have been inspiration. But nonetheless, I got nothing more from the game. I'm sure when they played Rocky in pregame, I know you were stiffer than a board. You were.
No, that's just fire, bro.
I saw it through the camera. Yeah, see, you loved it.
I saw it through the camera.
All right, let's get to around the league.
Shout out to Philly.
Let's get to around the league. We got Phillip Rivers, 5 years, right? You know, there's a lot of talk like, you know, Deshaun Watson couldn't play the game of football after sitting out a couple seasons. But Phillip Rivers comes in and he says, 5 years, no problem. All these kids, grandkids, no problem. He comes in and almost beats the Seahawks.
Yeah.
What a performance. What's our thoughts on this, man?
Bro.
I'm all for it. I feel like it was mixed reviews coming into it, but I'm actually all for... I got to tell you this. There was actually a moment when I was watching Phillip go out there, and when he threw that touchdown, I felt for him. I was like, this is dope. It was actually truly dope. I really felt that way. Did you shed a tear? No, but I felt my body being like...
What?
You're a bitch. You might cry. That's what I felt. That's what I felt my body saying to me.
Body.
And then, but honestly, obviously he can't throw the ball very deep, but we talked about this on the show, I believe, last week when we talked about, is it going to be Riley Leonard? Is it going to be AR? We don't really know. But we said they got a great surrounding cast. Their defense is elite, or at least they played elite this week, but their defense is great. They have a good offensive line, run game, all those things. Phillip can get away with that. He's ran this offense forever. He's smart. There's not going to be a defense he hasn't seen. And yeah, he's not going to throw the bang eights on a piss missile, and he's not going to throw deep balls that are beautiful. They're going to end up being back shoulders because they simply can't get there. But Max, you and I, we talked about this last weekend. We were watching old Eastern clips. The hardest pass to defend, though, is the back shoulder. Yes. If you're even, he's leaving, he can get you over top. But if you have your back turned at all or any of that, Phillip's going to put it either accidentally or on purpose back shoulder, and he's going to take care of the ball. And it was a great test. I hope they run with them all year, but I do think AR is coming off IR, which is crazy. And it'll be interesting to see, but I'm a fucking fan and I'm here for it. And he's a smart man because he reset his benefits and he's got a big family. His whole family could be a starting 11 and he could play all-time quarterback.
100%.
The old back shoulder, Brogan and Sergio special.
Yes.
Weren't we watching that last week?
Yeah, Brogan to Serge and Brogan to Johnny Newplow. Back shoulder.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But yeah, to answer your question, Darian, I'm 100% all in on the Phillip Rivers fan. Just the fan in me. I love watching it and seeing him actually do pretty damn well. First game back, 5 years. It's freaking awesome, bro. He's a legend. You know what I mean? And just being able to see him go out there and do pretty damn well. And I think he's going to get better every week and keep him competitive. Like you said, Brogan, he takes care of the ball. He's not going to be slinging it 50 yards downfield, but he could still make the necessary throws. And they, have a great run game. And I think he's going to do a good job. And I think he's off to a good start. But they got a freaking gauntlet of games, and it's going to be tough. So he's got to play well for them to get in the playoffs here.
But are the Seahawks arguably the hardest team out of what they do have remaining? Like I feel like the Seahawks could have been their toughest test.
Yeah,
so,
who do they got left? Let me look.
Yeah, it's actually I'm curious. But while you're saying that, Max, it's crazy, and I hate that I'm even saying this. One, it's crazy he pushed his Hall of Fame back 5 years. I think that's good for him, but I bet that was a very hard conversation to make. But like he said in the post game, just being out there for the full week, being back in the building, he's like, it was all worth going back and playing football again.
Yeah, 100%.
Like regardless of how it shakes out.
Yeah.
They got Niners, Jags, and Texans.
Gauntlet.
Texans. If he's standing in there against that Texans defense, they're going to have their ears pinned back.
This is the thing. I don't think they want to blitz Phillip. The Seahawks didn't blitz him at all. You know why? Because he will throw every hot route you fucking put at him. That's why he low-key you can't do that to him.
Facts. But the Texans got the 4-man rush.
Yeah, they don't have to send a blitz. They just got two dogs on the end and a good rush on the inside as well.
Yeah. Danico Autry, Sheldon Rankins, they got dudes, bro. They got dudes.
I find myself rooting more for Phillip now than I did his whole career, which is sad to say, but Hey, rather late than never.
It's all right.
Run for Phil.
Now, but the Bills kind of hurt us last week. We were talking about are they lethal or are they not? I know you saw that game. I know we thought it was in the bag, and he said they're starting to make it a game. Bills make this comeback with an absolute shootout against New England. Bills are lethal. You got Josh Allen,
bro. Chiefs not in it. Burrow's not going to be in it. Ravens, we don't know, bro. That shit is wide open. And the Bills, Josh Allen, this might be a legit chance for them to go get a bowl. I know the Rams are my favorite right now, but I'm telling you, the Bills are dangerous. You do not want to see Josh Allen in the playoffs. I'm telling you.
No, he put his cape on, dude, yesterday in that comeback.
Hell yeah.
Can I jump on the bandwagon? Can I be like the Bills Mafia? Like, you know how I can get sometimes.
Maybe how you get. Are you claiming?
Maybe that's who I claim for this playoff run.
We're not there yet. Look at Max's face. He wants to shit on you.
So, he can if he wants. I'm all in. I'm
gonna let it be, you know?
I'm all in. All right, Condor Cartel. One daily habit that has made my routine a lot easier is AG1. AG1 is a daily health drink that combines your multivitamin, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants into one simple green scoop. Instead of juggling a bunch of supplements, I just mix AG1 with cold water and I'm set all day long. This time of year, my schedule gets busy fast. Travel, long days, family stuff, holidays, and the diet doesn't always stay perfect. AG1 Next Gen helps fill common nutrients gaps and supports gut health and digestion, which we all know makes it easy to stay consistent even when everything else is thrown off. I drink AG1 first thing in the morning while getting ready for the day. It's quick, it's simple, and it helps me stay proactive with health. Original is my go-to flavor, but they also have citrus, berry, and tropical. I use this, and you should too. AG1 is their best offer ever. If you head to drinkag1.com/therush, you'll get the welcome kit, a morning person hat, a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2, an AG1 Flavor Sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement, AGZ, for free, which has been named a game changer in my nightly routine. That's drinkag1.com/therush, THERUSH, for $126 in free gifts for new subscribers. It's the holidays and we all love free gifts. Again, drinkag1.com/therush to get your free gifts now.
I will say this. The Bills reminded the Pats that division goes through them. It's been going through them for the last few years, and I think it was a nice reminder. To be fair, I think the Patriots are going to respond though too. So it's going to be very interesting how that shakes out. But you talk about playoffs, D, and talking about that team. If they can stop a run, maybe. But if they can't stop the run, at some point they're going to have to. And I think that could be their Achilles heel. But I'm for it. Real quick, I'm for the Bills doing well. Yeah. I got my ass ate up. Pause on social.
Whoa!
I got it. I need
an alarm. We need some sort of like a.
I felt myself saying eating up. I felt myself saying eating up, and it was going somewhere else. But I got my ass ate up for me saying that the Bills weren't really a threat. I'll try anything twice. But I said they weren't an actual threat, and I didn't say that in a negative way. I'm saying they're obviously going to make the playoffs. They're still a fucking scary team. I'm saying compared to years past, you guys let me know. You make your adjustments off that.
Yeah, the Bills are going to be a problem. They got Josh Allen. They're going to be in every game, and you don't want to see them, period.
So talking about teams you don't want to see, or used to not want to see here, unfortunate weekend for injuries. Micah Parsons goes down, tears his ACL. T's and P's for him. Mahomes goes down, tears his ACL. Is this kind of the nail in the coffin for, the Mahomes and Kelsey era? Do you think that Kelsey retires now after this season?
I think Kelsey does retire, but I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes. He's going to be back. He'll be fine. And when they lost Tyreek, I think everyone was losing their mind and like, oh, they're done. They're going to be, and I think they end up winning 2 Super Bowls after that. So you can never count them out. And, I could say this because I've played them more than anybody. When you got 15 at quarterback, it makes a difference. You got a chance. And the same thing with Josh Allen. You got guys like that, with the ball in their hand every single play. you're going to have a chance to win. So I think Mahomes, obviously, sending prayers out to Micah, Pat, all the guys that went down this weekend. It was unfortunate. I got to reach out and talk to them a little bit as well. My guy Devontae, of course. But yeah, they're in good spirits. And it just sucks, man. It's a part of the game you can't avoid. This is what comes with it. Unfortunately, injuries are a part of the game. And, it's just unfortunate. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that Micah going down really affects the Packers' playoff berth?
I mean, they're going to make the playoffs, but I think it definitely affects that team. I mean, they already had a really good team without him. Adding him to the mix made them a legit contender. Losing him is going to be tough. I mean, he's a freaky fucking player, and he is a big difference maker. And he makes that defense go. You know what I mean? His versatility, being able to rush inside and outside. He's a Swiss Army knife rushing the passer. So when you lose a guy like that, it changes up everything. They got guys. Rashawn Garrett can play. They got a ton of guys. My boy Keyshawn over there. Obviously, still on the opposite side have Josh and a lot of talent and Jordan Love. But losing Mike is going to be big. It's going to be
you
a big.
could tell that difference
loss.
in the game yesterday, bro. To be honest with you, once Micah got out, Bo Nix all of a sudden had time to set his feet. And the whole first half, he was getting chased around, literally. Mm-hmm. So I think that in itself is just maybe a microcosm of what could be. To your point, D, I think to Max's point too, I think playoffs for sure obviously are in the picture, but it does hurt the Super Bowl window, I think. Yeah. I think that's where it could come into play and hurt. But
that Bears-Packers game just got a whole lot more interesting coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the Packers just beat them at the end of the game last time, right?
Yeah. Last play, Keyshawn got the pick.
Yeah.
And that's week 18 they play?
Yeah.
No, they play this weekend.
Oh, this weekend? Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're already back at it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the Bears just got after it. So interesting. I got one more thing in our Around the League before we shoot on down to college football. But do y'all boys know what Trevor Lawrence did yesterday? 6 tuds.
6?
6. 5 in the air, 1 rushing, and he had 5 carries for over 50 yards rushing as well. So what my question is for the group, because we like to be hard sometimes on people, we get that. But is it time for people to start respecting T-Law? And is it okay for me to call him T-Law now? Like, has he gained that respect to now be referred to as T-Law?
I mean, he's got all the ability in the world. I don't think anybody ever questioned that. He's had a lot of different guys calling plays. And they've had some struggles on the O-line, but I've said this for the last couple of years now, but Liam Cohen's one of the best offensive minds in the league. He's coming from that Sean McVay tree. I've said this. I told Liam when I seen him, he's one of the hardest guys to play against because he makes it extremely difficult for that front. And the mix of run game, the 13 personnel, the 12, like they like to use the tight ends a lot. They like to get him on the move. They can run the ball. I think Travis Etienne, one of the most underrated running backs in the league. He's an absolute dog. They got a lot of good players over there. And then they pick up Jacoby on top of it. They got a defense, Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead. They got a squad. And I think Liam Cohen's bringing that to life. And Trevor, just you can see in his play, just get more confident and better as the season goes. So they're hitting their stride at the right time, for sure.
Yeah. Amen. I got nothing to add on that other than that division, it's going to get crazy because now the Texans just can't lose. They're right behind the Jags, and all of a sudden the Colts are 3rd in that division, which is insanity. If you took the first 10 games of this season, that's why you play 18, I get it. But you would have never, if I told you they were going to end up being in 3rd, you would have said, fuck no. We all would have. I'm sure everyone back home would have thought the same. So I'm curious to see how that shakes out. But I do want to switch to college football because there is a lot of talk about. Darian is already in game week preparation. His team takes off Friday. We are going to get to that. But I got to ask you really quick because the clip went nuclear last week when we talked about Fernando Mendoza, one of 2 Mendoza brothers. And he's the first IU player to win the Heisman Award. So, hey, let's do one of that for them, huh?
Big shout out to him.
But just your thoughts on Fernando winning the award, the Heisman. Do you think it was well deserved, and all the rest?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely well deserved. He had a great year. They're 13-0. They won the Big Ten, and he had, like you said, like he's been running the show at a very, very high level. I mean, he's talented. He's a big quarterback. He can make all the throws, and he's an underrated athlete. So, just seeing him, nobody thought he was going to win Heisman going into this year. So just seeing that, I love an underdog story. So, yeah, big shout out to him, bro. And his speeches, all time. He's great speeches, and
can't go off script, I don't think, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it comes from the heart.
It comes from the heart.
Can you imagine?
I almost did actually choke up for him.
Could you imagine the contrast of a Max speech and then you throw in one of his speeches? It's like it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah,
Max is like, "Go kill him." He's like, "Play for your brother. We love you. We're glue.
You guys. Glue."
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but shout out to him, bro. It's crazy that you got to give them their respect. I mean, the fact that the Indiana Hoosiers are #1 team in the country is crazy, and he's a big, major part of that.
Does he win a national championship?
Look at his face.
I'm just curious.
Hey, D, you got to ask him about your favorite quarterback in college football, not Carson Beck, but Diego Pavia. I know we were talking on air. I know you have to ask Max something about the Vandy Star.
I'm trying to hold it together.
You know you are.
You're so stupid. All right, we saw there was a bunch of clips went viral. Pavia went not the post Heisman ceremony, it was the pre, talking about where he wants to go and where he wants to play, and he was very adamant about playing football with you. What are your thoughts? And did you get a chance to see those?
Yeah. I had some people send it to me. I think you guys might have been, one of those, one of the group chats that sent that to me. But
had to have been Darian.
Yeah, for sure. Heavy in his algorithm, but he. Yeah, it's cool, bro. It's respect. It's respect at the end of the day. It's cool seeing stuff like that. He's an underdog. You know what I mean? Just looking at him physically, you wouldn't expect him to be the player he is.
He's a pit bull if you look at him.
Yeah, he's literally a human pit bull, but he's a hell of a player, bro. He's a competitor, and it's mad. I got mad respect for the way he plays the game. I think he does need to be smart, especially at this time. I know he's taking a lot of heat, and the whole club incident and stuff like that. Like, this is the National Football League, and they don't play around. You know what I mean? You got to realize that you're under a microscope, especially at this time, and they're going to evaluate everything. And I've talked to him. You know what I mean? I met him before at a fight in Vegas. He was really cool. But he's got to be smart. You got to be smart. You're a quarterback. It's a different type of responsibility. Being a player alone is already a big responsibility, but being a face of a franchise, being the guy behind center, there's certain things that you got to do, and you got to be smart. And we've seen it happen before with a lot of guys that have got the big personalities, and I'm all for the personalities, you know what I mean? But there's also level to it. You got to be contained, you got to be well put together, and you can't put yourself at risk, and you can't be out and about like that, like you're just a normal guy. You know what I mean? As much as, you want to just be a normal person in society, you're not. You know what I mean? You're runner up for Heisman. You're getting ready to go to the NFL. They're going to have a lot of questions, and he just needs to lock in and focus on ball. Get off the social media and just focus on his bowl game, and then focus on pre-draft prep and get ready, to get ready for the draft and everything that comes with that. So, yeah, that's my advice to him. I do like him as a player. He plays his ass off. He puts his body on the line, which I really do like his style. But he's got to be smart. And, there's a lot of money on the table, a lot of money at risk, and a lot, there's every team is going to be, they're going to come at him and ask every single question of, above the sun about this. So, yeah, he just got to lock in, bro. Block out all distractions, tunnel vision, and get in his bag, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to see him get a fair shake, to your point. Like, he'll be behind the 8 ball if any of those things come to light, and they'll hold him accountable or hold him to it, So hopefully he gives himself a fair shake. It'd be interesting to see. All right, guys, if you're a last-minute shopper like me, you know the feeling. Shelves are empty and ideas are running low. I got you hooked up. Aura Frames is a solution with a gift that feels personal. Side note, I just moved this weekend, brought the Aura Frame into the house, and I haven't seen my wife stop looking at it for 24 hours. So you want to brighten up the mood, brighten up the house, get some family photos rolling around, or even see photos of your friends. Get the Aura Frames. And also, you can upload photos straight from the app of your phone, right to the Aura Frame. Also, you can invite family members, friends, also to do the same and upload photos, if you trust them enough, onto your Aura Frame and enjoy it all at home. So for a limited time, guys, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver matte frames. Named number 1 by Wirecutter by using promo code THERUSH at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code THERUSH. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, guys. So order yours now and get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. One last thing I got before we talk about our teams and we get out of college football is there's a lot of trouble. Man, this is going to bring a smile to Max's eyes as soon as I say it, but there's a lot of trouble in Ann Arbor. A lot of trouble. Who, really quick, will be the next head coach for Michigan? Because obviously the university has launched like a whole athletic department probe, not only into the football program. Just stay away from the basketball program because they're winning games and they're going to win the Natty this year. Low key, watch out.
Basketball's
They're balling.
Yeah.
But to the point, do we have any early favorites, I'd like to say, from the boys here? Obviously, we're all going to probably say Gruden. Don't know if that's going to happen, but would love to see him out there in Michigan. Can I just say before you guys go, the one person I don't want them to hire? Can I say that?
Yeah, please.
Dillingham from ASU. I think he's the favorite, and I don't want it.
As a fan, you don't want it?
As a fan, and even a fan of football, not that he's not a great coach. He's a great coach, 100%. But there's like, when you come to Michigan, I'm sorry. I just feel like that, like after they lost Harbaugh, no disrespect to Sean Moore, but like, just felt like there was a big drop off between, hey man, you just have an elite coach, and then you went to that. And I know that's a hard gap to fill, but like, let's keep them coming. Like Notre Dame lost Brian Kelly. Then they come in, they get Marcus Freeman. Now everybody wants Marcus Freeman because he's a great coach. You need a hire like that is my point. And I do like Dillingham. I like what he stands for, all of that. But ASU is average. Let's just be honest. They're better than what they were. Respect that. They have a lot of athletes. Great. Talent pool's crazy in Scottsdale. But that being said, I would like to see someone, like we've talked about before, Ryan Grubb would be sick, but they're not going to go probably coordinator. And if they do, it's going to be to your, maybe like Jesse Minter or whatever his name is from the Chargers, DC, or somebody like that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Jesse Minter, to be honest. But I don't know. He's got a great job and he's doing a great job with the Chargers. But I could see that, him being a D coordinator, already being a Michigan, having Michigan roots and things like that. But I don't know. Honestly, there's so many different names that are floating around. I truly don't know. But like you said, like Michigan, Harbaugh won a natty. You know what I mean? He set the bar so high that they need to bring in a guy that is of that caliber or somewhat of that caliber, that can really unite the whole deal there at Michigan, because that's a big job. And that comes with a lot, you know what I mean? And Michigan, they're going to do everything in their power to be a top team and be in the mix every single year. So there's so many names floating around. But yeah, honestly, I don't really have a prediction right now. I've heard Kalen's name bouncing around too, DeBoer, and he made a statement about it. But he's a Midwest. He has Midwest ties. I could see that happening as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, apparently he's staying put, right, D? Is that the report you're getting down there from Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, he's not going to downgrade. He's not going to downgrade. He's going to stay in the SEC at Bama. What I will say this...
No,
really quick. You truly think... take Saban out of the picture, but you actually think Alabama's a better program historically than Michigan? You don't believe that?
I mean, it's hard to argue that anybody is better than Bama from what they've done and accomplished in the last 20 years. I mean...
And I mean, Kalen's already gone through the Big Ten, and he already ran through it. It only took him a couple years. He said he really wanted the week-to-week challenges, and he wanted to be in the SEC. And
he would have more security at Michigan.
People.
He would have more security at Michigan. He wouldn't have to worry every week.
It's not that's not an upgrade, though. He needs to be on the edge of his seat.
I agree.
So what I will say, though, for the University of Michigan, they need to have a massive, massive splash hire that is kind of difficult at Michigan because of the whole alumni and like the culture there and the tradition that you need like a Lane Kiffin type guy. Like you need someone who's not just X's and O's. You need someone who can recruit. Because right now, Michigan is so behind the eight ball in terms of the talent pool and like the recruiting class and the transfer portal. Like that's almost more important now than being a X's and O's head coach. And so I don't know who that is, but that should be the number one priority of I need somebody here that brings a little bit of swagger back to Michigan. And even with Harbaugh, like we would always joke about his recruiting techniques and how kind of just milky, drinking his milk all the time, just kind of different he is. But like you need someone who's
milky,
like Lane Kiffin. You need someone who's going to come here and shake it up, and they can go back and stand toe to toe with Ohio State.
I do agree with that. And to your point, the timeline is against them. Max, you talked about the timeline when we talked about the Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss and not being able to finish out the playoffs. The timeline's the problem because these kids just signed, and then the portal opens up 3 weeks later. Well, Michigan's more than likely probably, if they don't get a coach or any of that figured out or in play, they probably have the opportunity to lose these guys already. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I mean,
some of their freshmen have gotten out of there.
And they got to move fast. They got to move fast.
But you move fast, there's an opportunity for mistake, right? So it's
for sure. But they got
so. I mean, you can't that's what happens when you got to fire your coach. So let's not sugarcoat it. They put themselves in this position, so I don't really feel bad for them. Anyways, let's move on.
I think they had to fire him. I think they had to.
Well, they weren't going to.
No, I don't. They weren't. I don't.
We don't have enough time to get into this.
Yeah, we'll leave that out.
Anyways, let's go ahead real quick. First round, Alabama, Oklahoma.
Friday.
Alabama. Yep, big game. Alabama, Roll Tide. Oregon, JMU. Oregon, whatever the spread is.
JMU, baby.
There he is.
Come on.
Yeah, I knew he'd do that. He's an ass.
And then Ohio State. Who is Ohio State going to play in the second round? Are they playing A&M or are they playing the U?
Doesn't matter.
It's A&M.
Yeah, because you.
I want a real test. Respectfully, I want a real test. Not saying you haven't had one. I'm not. This isn't about Ohio State, but I want to see them against A&M. That would be a fire matchup.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because I think Ohio State would handle Miami. I really do.
Yeah, because Carson Beck can't play two good games back to back against this competition. Anyways, so then let's go on. Ohio State, Georgia, the real national championship. That's going to be a fireworks of a semifinal game. Georgia rolls.
I'm taking Tulane, by the way, on the upset of Ole Miss. If Max taking JMU, I'm taking Tulane. Green wave all the way.
No chance.
You better ride it then. You better ride that. Moneyline King, ride that. All right, perfect. All right, now let's get back into my favorite segment of the day. Is the Big Sack segment, sponsored by our friends at Sax Underwear. Max wearing his all pink. The Ella Rose pink cleats. Shout out, baby Ella. What a saint she is. There was a lot more than what meets the eye that went on in this play. Max said, I got one play to get a sack. And what's he do? He comes off the edge, third down, double swipe, dips, bends the edge, and gets that big old sack on the ground. Max, talk to us about that play, please.
Yeah, it was they came out, I believe it was a 4-by-1 formation. So they had a lot of guys to the left side. It was kind of bunched up. So I got in a 2-point and I'm peeping the tackle and he's back in a pass, like he's giving me pass with his read, with his stance. So for me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to get cracked right here because in the goal line, they like to do a lot of on the edge, crack toss, get me, try to get me out of the play. But they end up passing it. So got on the edge, get a nice initial little punch, but we always talk about it. The rush is never over. Keep swiping, get my toes downhill. And on my second swipe, I came through clean and came downhill. And I seen Jalen like this. I'm like, hold that motherfucker. And I pounced. I was trying to get the ball out. Unfortunately, didn't get the ball out. Got to get more turnovers. Got to force more fumbles. But it was a big down, especially on third down in the red zone, and helping getting the defense off the field. So yeah, it was awesome. It was a great feeling. Like I said, first time playing in Philly, and being able to get at least one sack. Wish I could have got more. I was close a couple times, but you know, it was a good feeling, bro, for sure. And you could just hear the crowd when I did, you know, I was trolling a little bit there, fucking booing me, and I live for that shit. So
did it remind you of the black hole at all? Just like when you go to stadiums that energized and that passionate, and then like, does it remind you of being back in Oakland at all?
A little bit. It's got some of that type of energy. You know, they don't fuck around. You know, they're motherfucking you and talking shit and the whole nine, which I love that. You know, I love a passionate fan base. So I love playing the villain part. Unfortunately, like I said, the game, you know, didn't go our way at all. But in that moment, you could feel it. And, you know, I like to just, you know, flex a little bit, talk my shit. And definitely got the sack. You know, that was my last play in those pink cleats. So it's definitely paid off. It was dope.
We'll get that. We'll get it remedied in the off season. But that's it for our Big Sack segment.
Double digits, by the way, too.
At Saks Underwear. Yep. Double digits. It's okay. I'll just re-talk about our friends at Saks with their pouch. But you need a big pouch if you're going to have double-digit fucking Saks on the ear. So shout out our friends Saks Underwear and shout out Max for 10 sacks. Not done yet.
Not done yet.
All right. 2025 has been a huge year for cryptocurrency no matter what you're into. My buddies are buying some, but so are governments, investment funds, and Fortune 500 companies. I've personally been keeping an eye on Solana since it's driving a ton of trading volume and innovation. All the coolest tech this year is being built on Solana. One of the coolest new platforms in the Solana ecosystem is Rhythm, who is actually a partner of MoonPay as well. Rhythm makes it easier to discover and trade new, popular, and viral meme coins with insane tech that identifies trends fast and early. It's honestly a pretty cool new way to trade and learn about the market. And you can make a deposit using Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, and other everyday payment methods using MoonPay. Crypto trading can be volatile, so do your own research and understand the risks that are involved because you can lose your entire investment. MoonPay is a tool to facilitate the transactions, not a source of financial advice. Trade responsibly, Condor Cartel.
All right, guys, you already know what time it is. You already know it's the Rushman segment. We got our Rushman of the week. This is my favorite. I'm biased. Don't care. We're talking about rushers around the league. And we got 3 of them today. And 3 of them, I think all 3 are new to the list. So this is a big time. Coming in at number 3, Cincinnati Bengals, Myles Murphy. 2 across the board, 2 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs. It was a rough one for Cincinnati. It was a rough one to say the least. But Myles Murphy getting a 2-piece at this point of the year in December, it always feels good. But yeah, they've had some moving pieces. Trey Hendrickson obviously being out for the year. They need someone to step up. And Myles Murphy getting 2 sacks definitely helps that defense. So big shout out to Myles Murphy. You're our number 3 Rushman of the week, brother. And coming in at number 2, this guy, it's funny. I have a weird tie to him. You know, I've talked to him a couple times early on in his career, right when he got drafted. You know, he was reaching out, just asking for pointers and things like that. But, you know, this guy had 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs. He was flying all over the place, making plays. Really hasn't had the opportunity to fully step into that role as a starter yet. But he's a young guy out of Kansas. He's got a lot of talent. And the reason why we're tied together a little bit is because for some reason it feels like every preseason, the Chicago fans are always tagging me and saying, this is our Maxx Crosby, this is our Maxx Crosby, this is our Maxx Crosby. So, I don't know for what reason or whatever. I don't know why they put the 2 together, but it's respect. But this guy's got a lot of talent. He can get out to the quarterback, and he's starting to get more opportunities, and he's starting to take advantage of them. He's got a lot of pass rush moves for a young guy, and I think he's going to get more and more ops as the years go by. Having him, Montez Sweat, Grady Jarrett, Javon Dexter, they got some young, talented rushers over there and some vets mixed in. So big shout out to Austin Booker. You're our number 2 Rushman of the week, brother. And then coming in at number 1, my guy, Robbie. He had him his second year in Baltimore. He talked about him a lot. I've heard a lot about this guy. He had 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. And he's a super talented kid. He was a first-round pick out of Penn State. He's talented as hell. And the thing is, when you come into this league, it's all about consistency. It's all about consistency and what you do now. And for him, this is a big game. Like I said, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. Doing it at this part of the year for a team that's going to be in the mix and contending and getting into the playoffs. He had a big game. and he helped them beat the Chiefs, and that's not easy to do. So this dude, Odafe Owe, he's ultra talented. I want to see him continue to improve. I talked to him after the game when we played. He just needs to keep his head straight, stay consistent, and keep working at what matters most, and that's your skill and putting in the work on a daily basis. And I think he's going to keep doing that. Like I said, he was with Robbie. He's over there now with Harbaugh, who's another great coach. He's got Khalil Mack as a vet. He's got Tui over there who's balling. I think he's got 12 sacks on the year for the Chargers. So they got a good group over there, and they're gonna continue rushing the passer. They got some scary dudes over there, really talented. But big shout out to Odafe Owe. You're our number one Rushman of the week, brother.
Come on now. Let's get those guys at the Sack Summit, huh?
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we do.
All right, well.
I feel like
Bring
if you
us
make
home.
the Rushman, you get an invite to the Sack Summit, by the way. Right?
For sure. And they got to show up. They got to come through. No matter what team, what rival, we're for that weekend, we're
It's inclusive.
right here.
We're brothers.
Glue.
Yeah. We are brothers.
Glue. Anyway,
Glue.
that's all we got this week on The Rush. Like I said, I got my brothers with me, Brogan Roback, Darian Terrell. We're going to keep pumping out the content. We're going to keep bringing y'all the heat. This is what we do. The heat, like Brogan likes to say. Give me one loud heat, Brogan.
The heat.
There it is. We're going to keep bringing the heat, and we love y'all, man. We appreciate you guys showing up every single week, tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing. Like we said, we got a lot of great stuff coming in. We got Christmas giveaway that we're working on as we speak. We're going to keep giving back to everyone involved. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. This is just the beginning. I know it's tough times to Raider Nation, to the whole nation. I love y'all so much. I know it's tough. We're not where we want to be. We got a long way to go. But we got to keep working and keep improving, and that's what all we're focused on. We got 3 games left, 3 opportunities to get better, and that's what I plan on doing, and I know the guys are going to do the same. So keep tuning in, guys. We love you. We appreciate you here at The Rush. This is what we do. We love y'all. Keep tuning in. Great things to come.
Let's roll. I ain't the driver, the one in the back. Feeling like Crosby on turn to the max. You with, he ain't talking about nothing. Ain't ballin', babe, he can't afford a bag. Leave his little broke ass right in the pass. I come with more than half. I need my sack, rush it. You and me racks, rush it. Dress all black, rush it. So many hits, thought I had concussion. I need my sack, rush it. You and me racks, rush it. Dress all black, rush it. So many hits, thought I had concussion.